Welcome to Ada's Place. My name is Ada and I am a Nigerian living in Berlin, Germany. I create content around Germany, things that are interesting in Germany, my life in Germany, and all the fun stuff. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're an OG, thank you. From the title of this video, you know we're going to be talking about all things insurances. Yeah, this is actually a very important topic, especially if you're living in Nigeria. If you're living in Germany or you want to move to Germany, these insurances, in my own opinion, and based on the research that I have done, they are very important for you. Even if you don't want to start them right now, it's something that you have to put at the back of your mind whenever you want to start having, some of these insurances set in place. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So in no particular order, let's get right into the insurances that you should get if you're living in Germany. Now, it doesn't matter whether or not you just came into Germany. It doesn't matter whether or not you've lived here for as long as possible. Of course, things are changing over time. So there's some information that you probably did not have when you moved to Germany, or you didn't have like a lot of insight on, and that's why it's always good to kind of update your knowledge and update whatever information that you have. The first one is, of course, the health insurance. If you live in Germany, in fact, you cannot be in Germany or you cannot live in Germany without having a health insurance. Let's just tell you how important this is. Are there people that probably live in Germany without a health insurance? It's possible, but it's very, very unlikely, because if you are not insured, you cannot take up a job because the job will ask you for your health insurance. And so even for children, they are usually insured under their parents, or they have like an additional insurance for them. So health insurance is something that is very, 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 very important to have in Germany. And even if you're applying to come to Germany, maybe for a visit or maybe to school, health insurance is one of the requirements that the visa or the embassy would ask you for. So health insurance is something very important. Now, there are two different kinds of health insurances. The first is, of course, the statutory health insurance, which is also known as the public health insurance. This one, everybody kind of has, right? Like everybody can have access to a public health insurance. And then there is the private health insurance. Anyone cannot have a private health insurance. You need to get a certain level of or a certain amount in as your gross annual income in order for you to qualify for a private health insurance. Are there differences between a private and public health? Of course there are. I'm going to make a separate video on that, talking about the detailed difference between a public health and a private health. But for now, just know there's a public health and a private health insurance. Moving on, we have a private pension insurance. If you work in Germany, you're entitled to the statutory pension that you'd receive once you retire. Now, there is a bit of an expectation that people have towards that government insurance, so the one that you will be paid if you work here and you retire here in Germany. But the truth of the matter is, the amount that the government pays is actually quite small. They know that they pay quite small, and so they want you to get an additional pension plan. You should also bear in mind that the taxes and social security that is deducted from your payslip, or that are deducted from your payslip right now, are being used to take care of the pensioners that are currently, retired. So those that are currently retired, your taxes and social security are used to take care of them. That means to say that your pension, like your taxes and social security, are not saved for you for when you retire. That's the way Germany works. And so when you then retire, it's the taxes and social security that are deducted from those that are working at that time that will be used to take care of you. And you and I already know that Germany is in dire need of skilled workers. They want people to come and work in Germany so that they can pay taxes and social securities, right? That means there isn't a guarantee that when you retire, you're going to the amount of money you're going to receive as a pension is going to be very high. Of course, it's not going to be very high. Currently, the last I checked, the government pays on an average 42% of your average net income for the 45 years you should be working, or you should have worked in Germany. So if you don't work up to 45 years in Germany, you're going to receive even less than that. I don't know if you get the drift. The drift is, if you're having hope on the pension plan or the pension you're going to receive from the government because you worked in Germany and you retired in Germany, the point is it's going to be very, very small, like very, very little. The government is saying, oh yeah, either you save 10% of your gross income, or even better, get an additional private pension plan. And so it's important that you get a private pension plan. At this point, I'm going to chip in here to say that I'm currently in collaboration with an insurance company in Germany. If you want any of these insurances, just send me an email. I have my email in the description box, and also somewhere in this video you will easily find it. You can even find it on my website. My website is www.adasplace.com. You can reach out to me and we'll follow up from there. Now, moving on to the third one is a life insurance. A life insurance is not the same thing as a pension insurance or a private pension insurance. These are two different kinds of insurances. For people that have life insurances, the insurance company would pay their beneficiaries in the case of their death. People pay little premiums, depending on the amount they choose, but they pay premiums to the insurance company so that whenever they die, most likely if it's like a sudden death or whatever, whenever they die, the insurance company would pay their beneficiaries a certain amount of money just to take care of them, or just take care of themselves. The thing with the life insurance is that you, as the person that opened the life insurance, you kind of not benefit from this because you're alive. The money gets paid out when you're dead. That's how I understand it, right? But a pension plan, you begin to get paid your pension insurance or your pension once you are retired. So you as a beneficiary, like you're the beneficiary, you're just saving for your future. So these are two different kinds of insurances. And so if you want, you can get both a private pension and a life insurance as well. So this is the third one. Now the fourth one is also something that is very, 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 very important here in Germany, is a liability insurance. The reason it's important is not because you go out destroying things, or because the point is things happen. Sometimes you might end up in a situation where something just happened. For instance, I can give you myself as an example. For instance, in my apartment, I don't know, something happened, and then my neighbor reached out to me to tell me that water is leaking from my bathroom. Now I'm in my bathroom, doing my thing myself, right? No drama, no nothing. However, I didn't know that the water in my bathroom was leaking onto the next, like my neighbor downstairs, so entering their flat. And so in this kind of situation, of course, I had to call my insurance company. And imagine if I didn't have a liability insurance at that time, who am I calling, to take care of this kind of thing? So yeah, sometimes we might find ourselves in certain situations that we probably can explain or cannot even explain, but we kind of need to cover for some of these things. That's where the liability insurance comes in. To be honest, it varies. There are different things that I cannot even begin to explain here that you would need a liability insurance for. Let's give another example. Something that actually happens, to be honest, a little bit more frequently than it should, is that you might leave maybe in your apartment, you're here, you traveled, or maybe you go to work, you come back, you find that some of your things are missing. Probably someone has broken into your home or broken into your apartment and made away with some of your valuables. If you have proof of this and you have all of the required information that you can give to your insurance company, you give this to your insurance company, and in most cases they would cover the cost of damages and all of that. This is why she gets a liability insurance. Now, the last and final one is a legal insurance. As the name goes, you never really know. You never really know when you need legal insurance. But I've seen situations where people need legal insurances when they're in the middle of the thing. But the funny thing is that in most cases, you're only allowed a lawyer from your legal insurance for a minimum of 3 months of being on a legal insurance. So if you have a problem right now and you sign up for legal insurance right now, you will not have access to the lawyer. So you have to wait for at least 3 months. And you never really know when you have an issue. That's the problem. Do you get what I mean? So it's very important that you have a legal insurance. Now, legal insurances can span from different things. The most common ones are usually for work. So if, for instance, you have an issue with your employer, that's the thing, you never really know. For instance, I shared my story of when I had an issue with, I wouldn't even call it an issue, but I was just in this situation where one of the managers I was working with, I felt that she was being rude to me and being more or less like I was in a bullying situation. So I reached out to the lawyers. Like, I called my insurance company and they put me in contact with the lawyers, and the lawyer explained to me what to do in that situation. And so if I didn't have legal insurance coverage, I'll just be receiving information from here and there without really knowing how to, proceed. And so it's important you have a legal insurance. Now, legal insurances can also cover for, like everyday situations. I think there was a story that I heard once of someone just randomly picked up the identity of somebody else and went and committed a crime. And now the person that had the identity was being harassed by the police. This happened in Germany, by the way. It's not like a hearsay thing. I actually know who it happened to. But the person was harassed by the police. And so in that kind of situation, the person had to pay a lot of money to get a lawyer to defend them in that situation. But if they had legal insurance, of course, they wouldn't have paid that high. Another bonus insurance is particularly for those that have cars or are planning to get cars or automobiles here in Germany. You should also have like a car insurance, because of course your cars might need repairs, or maybe you might find yourself in an accident, whether now you hit or now them hit you. You shall find yourself in a situation where you might need to repair your car, or you might need to repair someone else's vehicle. And in that situation, your car insurance or your auto insurance can cover you. These are some of the most important insurances that I believe are very helpful for people that are living in Germany, even for those that are living in Europe. And I think it also applies even if you're living outside of Europe, maybe Africa or even in America, depending on what your situation is. But I'm a German girly, and so I'm going to put you on key or on point on things that are happening here in Germany. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about, these insurances today. As I mentioned earlier, I'm currently in collaboration with an insurance company here in Germany. And although this video is not sponsored, it's very important. So don't think, oh yeah, I'm just selling insurance to you. Of course not. It's very important that you think about these things very well. And if you really want insurance, or you know someone that needs one, just reach out to me. Anyways, this brings us to the end of this video. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up, because it makes other people, or it makes YouTube push the video to other people that might find it very helpful. If you like the channel, you can subscribe. If you don't want to, that's also fine. However, if you do like this video, I really appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up. And also, if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section. If you want to ask me a question directly, you can reach out to me either via my website or send me an email. I try as much as possible to respond to all the questions that I receive, as much as I can. I guess this is the end of it, and I'll see you in my next video. Ciao.